Today, as I watch Vishal Batra, Vikram Batra's identical twin brother, reach out for the inbuilt camera in his mobile phone, hungry for every bit of grass and stone that connects him to Vikram, I think of how much has changed.
हाँ बिल्कुल ठीक है हाँ हाँ सब ठीक है बिल्कुल सब कुछ घबराने की कोई गल नहीं सब ठीक है
Those days, a phone call back home was a luxury. In Dras, there was just that one solitary STD phone booth. Up in the forward posts, of course, handwritten letters were the only option. Trembling from the cold and the chilling remembrance of those fateful years, Vishal tells me how 10 years later it kills him with pain that he could not even speak to his brother in his last days, and he waited too long to write back.
That's one thing which haunts me sometimes, that during the entire 4 months I couldn't speak to him because I didn't have a mobile during those days. But the best thing was that he was writing to me and I was not responding him back. So, he wrote me second letter. I got his third letter. In third letter he written ki, Kush, I am, getting all my letters. Don't be under the impression that if you write me back, you'll not get, I'll not get the letter. So I felt very bad. So I thought, let me write him right away. So I wrote him a letter at 11 o'clock in the midnight. I went down to the Gold Dakhana, posted the letter there. And after that, unfortunately, this news came. I got very, very upset. It really hit me harder. Even मैंने एक letter उसको लिखा और उसको वो भी नहीं मिला. So I was on a chutti for a month. I went back to Palampur. After a month, I rejoined. So one of my colleagues gave me a letter. There's a, Vishal, there's a letter from my brother. And when I opened that letter, he got the letter. And the first line was, Dear Kush, it was amazing to get a letter.
This is Vishal's first trip to the mountains that took his brother's life. A private banker who once dreamt of being in the forge, he lived the soldier's life vicariously instead through his brother Vikram, or Love and Kush as their parents called them. Today with us, he's ravenous for details, smiling, excited, proud, and in quiet, withheld pain. He wants to know everything about how we met Vikram Batra. It was a quiet moonlit night in Mashko Valley. There had just been a significant breakthrough in the war. A major peak, point 5140, had just been victoriously reclaimed. So, the soldiers were jubilant. They were unwinding, laughing over a dog-eared issue of an old cosmopolitan magazine. We forget sometimes, don't we, how young they were. Vikram was all of 24, but he was the one with the josh, the swashbuckler, brimming with pride at a job well done. You couldn't tell that he had just spent an arduous night braving bullets and enemy fire, climbing up through the deep, dark veil of the night.
But still, the battle was over.
But tell me, before you actually took over the peak, when at the difficult stages, how did you all boost each other's morale? Like, what did you keep telling each other?
It was like that in case we would have stopped at any point of time, we knew that we would have been the pinpoint target for them. Either we would have been there or they would have been there. And while we were advancing, they intercepted they were on the same frequency which were we on our radio sets. And one of the Pakistani soldiers or officer, whosoever it was, he said me, my code name was Shersha. Oh Shersha, you have come. Don't try to come up, otherwise you'll have a tough time. And that was the time they gave us a challenge. And my guys, they went wild. Okay, how dare a Pakistani troop can challenge us? The guys were angry. They were yelling that we guys are going to have them. And that was the thing, that was the spirit.
So everyone got really
Everyone was highly charged. There was no looking back, sir.
Words of confidence that would soon prove to be horribly, horribly misplaced. Sitting on Sando Top, a base camp from where countless assaults had been launched, it's difficult to look at Vishal without feeling a little shiver down my spine. He's the spitting image of his brother, and suddenly, 10 years ago, feels like yesterday.
When you were driving up, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, the terrain is so tough. I'm driving in a car. Probably I know the road is not that great. And, I was actually figuring out that when the war was actually happening, I was thinking that how these people would have managed to go such a steep on the foot. And that too with the risk of, the enemy shelling coming right from the top. And you never know when a, bullet or a splinter hits you and you know more there.
But how are you able to deal with it in so calm a way? Because he was your twin brother. If to lose a twin, to lose a brother, of course, is a tragedy. To lose a twin is like losing a part of yourself. You were telling me earlier that you still have his photograph.
See, I tell you, physically I don't have him, yes. The presence haunts. I cry sometimes, that, had it been that he would have been alive, I'm sure that he would have been a major by now, where, could be that he would be on the cards for his staff college. The life would have been different. The life is different now also because I don't have him physical with me, and there are a lot of things which generally I'm not able to share with somebody else, which I could have shared with him. But, when I look at him, that at such a young age of 24, he could do such great things. Looking at his photographs keeps my motivation up. I have his photograph in my house. Anyhow, my house is full of his photographs, only in fact. And there's not even a single day when I don't salute him. Not even a single day in my life.
Every day.
Every day.
We sit and stare at the sky and feel that Vikram can also hear us. We talk about their childhood home in Palampur, in hills much gentler than these ones, where a mother copes with death by remembering the spirit of her son.
वो लड़ाई के बीच में तो ऐसा लगता था कि जैसे कि कोई क्रिकेटर जो है वो अपना छक्के मार रहा हो और जीत हासिल करना चाहता हो, उसको कोई ऐसा था ही नहीं कि वो दुश्मनों से लड़ रहा है या घुसपैठियों से लड़ रहा है। उसने तो एक मतलब ठान ली थी कि मैंने जो करना है सो करना है, चाहे मेरी जान ही क्यों ना चले जाए, फिर मैंने करके ही रहना है।
Where a father hides his grief behind the enormous cloak of pride.
एक बार वो एक रेस्टोरेंट में अपने दोस्त के साथ बैठ के कॉफ़ी पी रहे थे, वो लोकल ही है उनका दोस्त, तो वो उससे बातचीत चल रही थी। कारगिल वार तकरीबन स्टार्ट होने जा रही थी, उस वक्त कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चल रहे थे, तो उनके दोस्त ने कहा कि विक्की अब वार लगने वाली है, आप थोड़े सतर्क रहना। ही डिड सेड इट इन जस्ट कमेंटिंग वे कि, तो इनका जवाब था कि आप चिंता मत करो, मैं या तो दुश्मन की पोस्ट पर झंडा लहरा करके आऊँगा और या फिर मैं झंडे में लिपट करके वापस आऊँगा। लेकिन आज याद आता है कि उन्होंने अपनी दोनों ही बातें फुलफिल कर दी।
We stare straight ahead at Batra Top. During the war, it was known as Point 4875. Now, its peak is named after Vikram. The memory of Vikram's last words pound my mind. He was just back from victory and heading to death, except he didn't know it that night.
It was like we have done it. Like we were on the top of the world. It was a great feeling to have, since all the troops, like we guys, I can say we were lucky enough to have such a war-like scenario in very early stage of our career. Now all the guys were very happy because we didn't lose even a single chap of ours. Immediately after we charged, we concentrated and we encircled the entire area, and we carried the specific search from bunker to bunker. And finally we saw that we've captured a lot of arms and ammunition, and only 2 to 3 chaps of our who had got hurt, but there was no fatal casualty. That was the best part. And we had already decided our success signal before advancing for the attack, and it was like Bravo Company's success signal, Oye Aaya, and which was passed to our CO Colonel Joshi on the radio set. And after the another bunker was captured, my company's success signal was Ye Dil Mange More, Dil Mange More, Dil Mange More, Dil Mange More.
Ye Dil Mange More, Vikram took an advertising slogan and elevated it into a motto for life. So think what impact it must have had on someone whose brother was killed fighting.
I'll share a very personal incident. When I was young, when I was a school-going kid, I really used to get scared looking at a dead body, right? And but I don't know, I don't know what strength he gave me that, when his body came, so me and my brother-in-law were the first people to recognize the body, right? So, when we took him to the crematorium for his final rites, and when the body was taken out of the coffin and the tricolor along with his cap was handed over to mom, I took the body out of the coffin and I hold it in my hands. And that was the first cremation ever in my life. It was painful, Bhargav. It was painful, and I don't know what strength, Adrian gave me that, probably whatever fear I had for death, it went off.
You lost a brother.
I lost a brother and,
And you lost your fear of death.
I lost my fear of death.
Is it been difficult to come here today? Emotionally?
To be emotionally, yes. But honestly, again, I would say I was looking it for last 10 years. And I'm again proud and happy that I could make it. I should have done it, 9 years back, in fact.
What do you think Vikram's thinking today wherever he is? If he could hear you. Because twins have that thing, no? They can talk to each other always without words.
I'm sure you would be thinking that Kush is watching me from very nearby. Not being in Delhi, because during those days also I was posted in Delhi.
Yeah.
So probably I'm sure he's looking at it, and could be I speak to him in my dreams tonight.
We hope you do. You feel closer to him. Yeah.
Some moments are simply wordless.